Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to day 6 on Project Foxy. Let's go. So today we are going to do a little bit more work on this door. As I told you at the end of the last video, I'm not going to give it to the body shop to do that. I'm going to have another go myself. Now, I've had some great comments on that last video. Briefly, what I will say, so I also had a couple of Instagram messages as well. And one thing that someone has pointed out as that bit, as we know, is too close. That bit is too far away. What was also pointed out, which I had noticed myself but didn't mention, is you can see it's slightly lower here. So the theory is the top hinge is probably okay. The bottom hinge is too close. If I was to bend that hinge that way towards the back, that would pull that in a little bit and would also pull that up. So it could be just an adjustment needed on that hinge to sort it. Now I'm going to have to take the door off to do that. The problem I have is with this check strap, because I've rounded that off. I don't know how I'm going to get that out. Short of drilling that out, I'm not quite sure I'm going to get that out, so I might have to try and drill that out, which is a damn nuisance to say the least. I can't get anything on it to grip it. I might try hammering on a bigger one, but it didn't seem to take very much to round it off, I have to say. So I might have another go at some sort of torques, but failing that, I'm going to have to drill the damn thing out. I want to replace it with a bolt. I think it's because it's not got in straight and it's messed up the thread on it. That's what's making all the noise. It's not the door catching or anything like that. The other things that were suggested, which again is a great idea, as you know, I've temporarily got a washer in there to try and sort it, is to, as I did before, get a spanner, a extension bar with a socket on the end of it in that hole onto that bolt, and then get a hammer this end and whack it. Someone said that they've done that before and that will whack that out, straighten it. Now this is obviously quite tough steel. It's not thin steel, it's boron steel, as someone or several people have suggested, which may or may not be right. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it probably is, which is obviously harder, stronger. So I'm gonna have a go at that as well. I might try that first, because obviously I do really need to get that straight, but I say first I need to get this off. So I'm not going to bother filming that. I'm going to attempt to get it off, as I say, with, in case you're wondering what this wire was, I've just got a solar charger up there on the battery, just to keep the battery topped up, because it's a bit low, this battery. Yeah, that's the plan. So obviously I've got to get that out first, then I'm going to try get the door off, then I'm going to try banging that, and then after that I'm going to try getting this to bend this way just a little bit. Or maybe not bend, it might not even be bend. Remember when I hit that before on the other video, it moved it that way. I might try and move it back a little bit, loosening that bolt and then slide hammering it back a little bit. And then put the door, but it's going to be a bit of trial and error. My daughter's at home today, so hopefully she can help me do this, lifting the door back on and off as need be. So yeah, going to give it a try. So that's the plan for today. Oh dear. The other thing I'm going to try and do today is I contacted Connor a couple of days ago about doing this back beam. I've asked him if he's free this Friday, because I'm off work this Friday. It's not sure whether he's going to be available yet, so he's going to come back to me. But what I do need to do is get the Genelite rust stuff on it, and I'm waiting for the stone chip to come, which I'm hoping is going to come today in the post today. I bought 2 cans of stone chip to protect it once I've got the Genelite on it, rust converter. So I'm going to go down to the shed at the bottom of the garden, I'm going to get that out and start whacking that on. So I'll get it out the shed and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so now we're at the bottom of the garden, and it's not actually as bad as I remembered it being. I thought it was rustier than this, but I am still going to go over it. The bottom of the bar, sorry, that's the top of the bar, is actually quite good. Some of these bits are a bit on the rusty side, but it's not actually that bad. It's worse on the bottom, obviously. And I think I have gone over this before with the with a wire brush, but I'm going to do it with the brush on the drill, just to get it better. Obviously, if it's going onto the car, it's got to be as good as it can get, hasn't it, really? I might even afterwards soak some of these nuts as well, because they've obviously got to come undone. So if I can get them soaked, give them kind of more of a chance of getting them undone. I had to get quite a lot of stuff out of the way to get to it. So that's one of my brand new lounge painted bumpers. Under here we've got a white bonnet, which I think has got some tiny dents in the tips. Got a red bonnet that I bought a long time ago. I've never needed it. It's a miracle it's not scratched to blazes, but it looks all right actually. We've got a red wing that I practiced my cut and polishing on, which is still nice and shiny, albeit dirty. Got a beige wing, which was off of Project Beige Girl, which was one of the paint colours that got dented. I've kept it. A couple of white driver's wings. Not particularly the best in the world, but you know, better than nothing. That's the door cards that I was going to put on to the blue car. And here we have a load of arch liners, and then still in the garage we've got another white wing, and that's another beige wing, and a red bumper, and I think there's another white bumper under there as well. I'm not sure what that white bumper is. Didn't even know it was there actually. So yeah, before I start, that was up against the wall, so I had to get all this stuff out to get this out. So I'm going to put all this back, then I'll set it up on a tripod, and we'll have a good proper look at this. So I'll be back very shortly. I'm just gonna, I can't remember if I went over this with a wire brush or with one of these before, but I'm going to go over it again. As you can see, quite a lot comes off. So you've got to try and get as much loose stuff off as you can. A lot of this is dirt, but yeah, I mean that's surface rust. A lot of it, but this is always the way with these. But we'll continue doing this, and then we'll once we've got this side done, we'll turn it around and we'll do the other side as well. I'll go paint this side first, then leave it 15 minutes, then turn it round and do the other side. But we'll obviously we'll get all the loose stuff off first. So I'm going to just put you on time lapse, and we'll come back and once it's ready to paint, or Genelite I should say. Right, that is all now done. A bit dusty, but I mean it is only surface rust, but it's obviously, if I treat it now, it should hopefully outlive the car. Shake well. Remove all traces of oil or grease, remove old paint and loose rust with steel wool or wire brush. Shake bottle well and pour the required amount into a plastic container. Brush in thin even coat directly onto the rusty areas only, working well into any pitted areas. Corners and edges. Ensure that exposed corners and edges are well treated to avoid rust creep beneath. wait 15 minutes. If it doesn't turn blue black, reapply after 30 minutes. No need to rinse off, and then it's ready to paint in 3 hours. So if I leave it, say, about an hour after I've done it, and then I can turn it over and do the other side. Oh, it's white. I was expecting it to be clear. I don't know why. Oh, say white. It's grey. It looks like a grey milkshake. I have no idea how much of this I'm going to need, really. Probably quite a lot, because it's a big area, isn't it? So, okay. So thin, even coats. Let's see how it goes on. As I would always advocate eye protection, but because I wear glasses, I've already got eye protection. Well, it's easier to put on than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like more of a gel, but it's not. It's quite a thin liquid. And then hopefully that stone chip will come today, and I can get it painted today. And then if Connor does happen to come on Friday, which hopefully he will, but I'm not holding it to him because he's got childcare issues, so I'll fit in when he can do it, of course. So yeah, this is good. It's quite therapeutic. Yeah. And then once what I'll do is I'll mark. I mean, some of these will have to be replaced. Actually, which one? That's damaged, isn't it? And the one on the car is damaged. Which side is that? That's passenger side, isn't it? And this brake line is damaged on the car, so I'm going to have to get some new brake line. Is that brake line? Sorry, no, that's handbrake, isn't it? I don't know whether we need to worry too much about that. I don't know if that will fail the MOT, that being like that. I could try putting some tape around it, I suppose, because that's the handbrake cable. It's not. I was thinking it was the brake lines, but it's not. But I think one of these brake lines, might be this one, is damaged on the car. But of course I didn't worry about it because I've got them on here, so it should hopefully be okay. We will see. Never used this stuff before. It's obviously the more I can protect before it goes on the car. I mean, you can always do this stuff afterwards when it's on the car, but seeing as this is off the car, it's obviously a lot easier to do. So I won't bore you with it any longer. We'll come back once it's done. As I say, we'll leave it 15 minutes after I've finished, then we'll turn it round, do the other side, and then we'll leave it an hour, maybe 2 hours. And if the stone chippers come, we can get it stone chipped, and I'll mask off all the bits that don't need painting. So I'll be back shortly. So I got that out. I was a bit concerned about getting that out, and know what I managed to do it with? Those. Hammered that on. Got a small socket on the end of it, and it came out no problem at all. I'm really pleased about that. I really didn't think that was going to work. So what I'm going to try and do now, despite what I said earlier on, that's the trouble when you ain't got a check strap on, the door keeps closing. I'm going to try undoing that bolt and moving that slightly, and seeing if moving that moves the door straight, because in theory it will do without actually having to bang anything. Obviously I'm probably going to have to take the door off to sort this, but if I don't, then so much the better. And then I've got to find another bolt to put in there as well, rather than the thing that was in it. As you can see, that was rounded off big time, but it was good that that other thing gripped onto it. That was really good. Okay, so we'll throw that. Let's do this, and we'll come back. Okay, so that didn't work. So that was, a couple of people had suggested that on the last video. So I loosened the bottom one. I didn't bother showing you. I loosened the bottom one. I pulled it outwards. I pulled it inwards. I did the same on the top. Whichever position I put them in makes no difference. So it is the position of the hinges rather than the bits that are on the door. So we need to get the door off, and what the next thing to try is that this hinge definitely needs coming out. that's a given because it's too close here. Sorry, it's too close here. It's recessed, as you can see. It's about 3 or 4 mil too far in. So that's got to come out somehow. And the bottom one has got to move that way, which will hopefully in turn move this one that way. Not a lot, but this one is more important to get that out rather than anything else. So yeah, adjusting those other hinges didn't make a blind bit of difference on that. So I'm going to get the door off. Thankfully I got that check strap off, so it's easy to get the door back off again. So we'll get that off, and then we'll see what we can do with these hinges. Sorry about the quality of the picture there. I don't know why it's all sort of bleached out. Okay, so bottom hinge, I've bashed it out a bit using the hammer on the end of the socket, and it does seem to have worked, you know, a bit to a degree. It hasn't done it. It's done it where the bolt itself is. It's not done it just in front of it, but I think it's enough. So I've loosened the back bolt, the one that comes from this side, and I've managed to, using the slide hammer, just pull it forward a little bit, just be enough. Now this one, we know, we're hoping that by pulling that way, that pushes that, automatically pushes that way to line up. Again, it's going to be trial and error, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to bolt it in, and I'm going to try and pull it. I don't know if it'll work. I'm going to try, because there's nothing to hook round, so I'm going to just do that up. Obviously it will move around like that, but I'm going to get the slide tool behind it and see if I can pull it out. I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not, so I'm going to have to move you out of the way, I think. Let's try it. Again, you know, I can't measure if it's doing it or not. I'm not convinced it's strong enough. I've got a bigger hook. Let's try the bigger hook, because then I can hook it over. It doesn't really make much difference. I suppose all we can do is try it bit by bit, can't we? It's impossible for me to see whether that's worked or not. What on earth was that? It's completely impossible for me to work out whether that's worked, so... What is that noise? I've no idea what that noise was. Something's rubbing against something frightening the life out of me. Right, okay. Let's take that out. The other thing, of course, is to maybe get jemmy in there and try and jemmy it out a bit. But I want to try that and see if it's worked. So I need to go and get my daughter, and hopefully she's up and dressed. We can put this back on and see if it has made any difference whatsoever. So we'll get it on and then we'll be back. Okay, so door's back on. Daughter's just helped me put the door back on. Let's see. It's not. I don't think it's done anything. It's not done anything. Nothing whatsoever. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Right, okay. Not made a blind bit of difference. It's not come out any further. My life. It's not improved. I don't think it's improved the gap. I mean, that obviously, if that has moved, it hasn't moved enough. I don't believe that. I thought that would have worked, and it hasn't. That's really bizarre. Why the hell hasn't that worked? So it's still far too far in. Okay, I'm going to have a rethink. So I was convinced that was going to work. Okay, back to the drawing board. Right, I finally got it back on again. with my daughter's help. Nightmare. I don't know what I've done, but I have lined it up better there, much better. It's almost flush there. I don't know what the hell I've done, but the gap is still wrong. So yeah, I think that's obviously from where I've bent the hinge back. It's obviously brought it out, so it's I could live with that. if the gap here was correct, I could live with it. So I still don't really understand why that hasn't moved. I've definitely pulled that out. But it's not made any bleeding difference, and I don't know why. So if I loosen that, see, I think that bolt on there, when I'm pushing it, I think I'm doing it back to front, aren't I? Bloody please. It's not going that way, it's going in and out, although it doesn't seem to go in and out. But the door, because that's come out, the door appears to have maybe, yes, it's catching. That could just be, yeah, no, I think it is a little bit higher here. It was a little bit lower than that before. I probably need to adjust the thing, because that was adjusted for how it shut before. So it's slightly catching it. So it is better, but it's still nowhere near right. But I'm going to get the body shop to do it. I just can't keep doing this. I have to rely on someone else to help me with this door. I tried it with a jack, and I think I probably bent the hinge a bit more the wrong way, because it was on one hinge and I couldn't get it on the other. If the hinges were completely straight, it would be easier, but because they're not, it's just impossible to do on my own. I just can't do it. And my wife couldn't help me because she's working from home in the spare room, but she's answering the phone and it's just her. So she couldn't spare any time at all, and my daughter was in the shower, blah blah blah. So my daughter's helped me twice, but I can't keep doing this. It's just stupid. They've got to do the bottom, haven't they? So I'll just say to them, look, sort the door out for me as well, please. I'll try and tap another thread into there, because I've found another bolt that will go in it, but it doesn't go in very far. The actual thread is probably sort of about that. Doesn't go in very far at all, but as you put the bolt in, it starts off quite easy, but as it goes in, I don't know, a quarter of an inch, something like that, it just gets solid and you can't move it. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know why, but so I'm going to try and tap a new thread into it if I can, and then try another bolt. I'm not going to put it on because obviously they'll probably take the door off, I imagine, to sort this out, but yeah, leave it to them. So it's a bit late in the day now, but what I was going to be doing, I was going to see if I can get the pump into my carshing machine and see if I can get that to work and then clean the seats. I might still do that, but I just can't do any more on this now. It's peeing me off, and it just needs to go to the body shop and get out of my face, really. See the way that's catching now? I hope that's not going to affect the oh, I haven't got the battery connected. I hope that's not going to affect the door opening. I need to adjust that. I'll move that. Which way's it got to go? Up, probably. Can't see. Oh no, down. It's got to go down, actually. That's interesting. So yeah, I'll adjust that, and then that'll be that. I'm going to put all these tools away and forget about it for the time being. It's starting to annoy me now. It is starting to annoy me, but I have got somewhere, I suppose. Only just, but it's a damn shame, because if I could have got that right, I might have another fiddle with it before it goes to the body shop, because I don't know when it's going to the body shop. They've got they've got the blue one at the moment. I think they've had it now. I think we're in the third week now. I think I took it down there Monday 2 weeks ago, so 2 weeks ago yesterday. I haven't heard anything from. Not that I was expecting to within a couple of weeks. I thought I might do, but they didn't look that busy when I took it down there. They didn't have hardly any cars in there. But yeah, if I haven't heard from them by this time next week, I'll give them a call, because if Connor comes round Friday, if he comes around this Friday and does that, the stone chip hasn't arrived, by the way. If he comes around and does that Friday, this will be ready to go to the body shop then. And I just want to get rid of it out my face and then get it back done. Whatever the cost, within reason. And then when we get it back, we can sort the wheels out, service it, sort the roof out, and then it can go. So I'm itching for another one now. Of course, we've got Project Evie out here, and I'm gonna park this one up, and I'm gonna bring Evie. I think if I can't, no, I was gonna do the seats, wasn't I? But I need to get on with that. I need to get the painting sorted out on that. I need to get rid of that one. I've got sort of 3 projects on the go, all at a sort of stage where not really got much to do on them. Well, there's loads to do on this one, but you know what I mean. Not much for me to do on them, but I'm stuck on this one now until it comes back from the body shop. So I will finish this video on this car for now rather. If we do happen to sort it out, I will obviously let you know. And yeah, I'm not, you know, when we will have a video on this car at some point. But I'm not going to do this as a video on its own. I'll put this in with some other stuff, probably on Friday or at the weekend when Connor's here to do, if Connor's here to do the rear beam. But that all depends on what happens Friday. But yeah, we'll put it in another video. So for the time being, that's it. So we'll see you soon. So I've got my Carlshire machine. Same day this is, by the way. Weather's drawing in now, rather the darkness is starting to draw in now. Same day. Not done any more to the door, so don't get excited. I've got my Carlshire machine working, so I'll clean the seats. Look at them, sparkling. Nice new pump in my Carlshire machine. All nice and clean. I know it's going to get a bit dusty when they come to do the painting down here and that, but you know what I'm thinking about this door? I'm wondering whether now it's acceptable, the in and out bit. I could definitely live with that. I'm wondering if I could adjust, because it's such a tiny amount, and who's to say the door's not right and the wing's out? Because don't forget, we've replaced the wing and the door. Of course, by rights I should have done the door first, but who's to say we can't adjust the wing instead of the door? Don't know. Might be worth a try. We've got no arch liner on. It's a matter of jacking it up, taking the wing off, and taking the wheel off, and having a bit of fiddling around with it. Really, it does all sort of line up, but don't know. It's possible, isn't it? It only needs to go back a fraction, and by moving that back a fraction, and that would pull out a fraction. So it might be worth a try. As I say, who's to say that because the gap at the back. It's sort of, I mean, obviously it goes out as it goes down here because of the damage, but that gap there is pretty much equal. That lines up there. Look there, that lines up now. So I reckon that might be the reason. C'est possible. So the gap here, okay, I suppose the gap here is slightly more. That's shut properly. Yeah. Actually, see that? I mean, there's no damage this side of the car, but that slightly protrudes. But yeah, no, I suppose the gap is a little bit bigger there than it is this side. Yeah, it is. It's probably half as much again. But again, you know, I can live with it. I'll ask the body shop to have a look at it and see what they can come up with. But it is, I think, if I get the time before this goes to the body shop, which I probably will, I think I will see if I can adjust the wing to compensate. But yeah, that's it. I just thought I'd come back and just show you the seats. I'm now going to get a wet bum by sitting on those seats and parking the car back in front of the house. So as I said earlier on, hello reflection. We'll see you at the end of the week, hopefully, when we get this back beam on. So until then, laters. So, yet again the same day, and I'm just packing up. Just closed the garage door, and the stone chip was delivered. I've got 2 cans of it. I'm just going to have a read of what you're meant to do with it. It is black, so it shouldn't need painting once this has been sprayed on. Give it a good shake, we'll have a read, and then we'll come back and see how this goes on. Right, here we go. Makes it look a lot better, doesn't it? I might give it some more once it's actually on the car. There you go. What a difference. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, pleased with that. So they make it's getting dark now, unfortunately, so I'm losing the light, so it's quite difficult to see. It looks brighter through the camera than it actually is, so it's quite difficult to see now. But from what I can see, I've covered most of it. Yeah, it's good. So we'll come back out. We'll have a look tomorrow, and it'll be dry. Obviously, we can have a look, see if there's any bits we missed, like that bit down there. And then go over it again if need be. It's just dry as glossy or matte. Not sure. There we go. Great stuff. Okay, so we'll be back again. I keep saying it, don't I? When we get this thing on, that's when we'll be back. So I'm just finishing off this video here. Reason being, it's about half hour long, and there's probably not going to be any more on this car for a little while. As you know, as mentioned previously, Connor was going to come round today. Today's Friday. Connor was going to come around today and do that rear beam for me. It's all been painted, as you've seen in the video, and I put him off because I've put it up for sale on eBay for 2,350 quid, I think. It's been up there a couple of days. There's not even anyone watching it at the moment, so I don't think it's going to sell. So I probably will revert back to plan A and complete it. I will have another go at that door because we're nearly there. Maybe adjust the wing, get it done, and then, you know, sell it. If it, as I say, if it takes a couple of months or more, I'll string it out until sort of March time. Even it's a project that will stay on the back burner because there's quite a lot of work to do on it still. It'll stay on the back burner, and if it takes me months to do it, so be it. When it comes to it, come spring, get it MOT'd and sell it. Get more chance of selling it and probably get more for it come sort of March time. So I'm going to end this video here. I don't know when you'll be seeing this project again, because it may sell. It may sell. Sometimes what happens with the eBay auctions is you'll get people watch it. Of course, as I say, at the moment there isn't anybody watching it. You'll get people watching it. No one will buy it, and then what they'll do is a couple of days after the listing's ended, they'll message you and say, "Is it still for sale?" Because they think they're going to get it for a bargain price. I think it owes me about 2,1, so I'll put it up for 2,350. Just chancing my arm, just on the excuse me finger, just on the off chance that I might get a bit more for it, but we'll see. I'll let it go. I'd even lose a fraction. As much as I want to do it, it's been the bane of my life for the last few weeks, that car. If we do it, we do it. So I'm going to end this video here. So as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Any ideas on any of this stuff, what you think I should do with it, let me know. I'm sure you will. So yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.